Is this the dagger?
What up, JP Nation? It's your boy JP. Today we are reacting to Young Gala's video, NBA legends and players explain why Larry Bird would destroy today's NBA. Another Larry Bird reaction video. Man, I can't get enough of Larry Bird, man. One of the greatest players of all time. You know, it's been just spark of debate, and he just gets so very underappreciated by, you know, a lot of youngsters that don't really know how cold and how bad Larry Bird was back in the day, man. Like, he was just cold blooded. If you just watch the mixtapes and highlights, man, you just tell how, you know, crazy game Larry Bird had and everything. Yeah, he wasn't athletic, but man, the IQ was just unbelievable, man. But definitely I'll give my comments and my thoughts, you know, after this video of if Larry Bird could play in today's NBA. Make sure you subscribe to JP for more basketball content. Click the notification bell, you know when our next upload is. On the road to 20K, make sure you like this video at the end and definitely comment down below and let me know if you think Larry Bird can play in today's NBA, if he can keep up like he did back in the 80s and can do it into today. If you get like a timeline and just bring him in and have him play against the Giannis's and LeBron's, Steph Curry's and everything, could he dominate today's NBA? Please just let me know in the comments. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video.
Imagine a prime Larry Bird in today's NBA. This is the most intriguing player for this type of series because he will fit so well in today's era. He is a complete package of what you want in today's NBA. Larry Bird had many ways to impact the game, and his IQ was remarkable. You could argue he had the highest basketball IQ in NBA history. The most underrated part of Larry Bird's game for me was his defense. He led the league in defensive.
He was an all-defensive team.
Yep. He finished second twice.
Yep.
Only George Mikan, Bill Russell, and Tim Duncan have more
he can play defense.
League leaders, and only Hakeem Olajuwon is tied with them. Despite his reputation as more of an offensive player, this actually puts him in the company of some of the greatest defenders in NBA history. He also made 3 all-defensive teams. Sure, he wasn't a lockdown defender like Dennis Rodman in one-on-one situations, but he could hold his own.
Get the job done.
At reading passing lanes for steals, so he wasn't a liability, which was one of the biggest myths. And to prove that Larry Bird would dominate today's NBA, there are players like Nikola, Jokic, and Luka Doncic who are thriving in the league. Both players possess some of Larry Bird's qualities.
Yep.
Jokic freakish passing abilities, excellent off-ball play, and Luka's shot-making and competitive mentality. But neither are a better shooter or defender than Larry. That is why in today's league it's difficult to find a player to compare Larry Bird to, because he is a composite of many players. The only thing you have to worry about with a prime Larry Bird in today's NBA is whether he'll be ejected after trash talking every player guarding him, because he will destroy players mentally too. Like the guy was telling players what he would do before he even had the ball in his hands. So I'm going to show you NBA legends and players sharing stories of how dominant and skilled Larry Bird was. And after this video, please tell me how many points you think a peak Larry Bird would average in today's league. Enjoy the video, man.
Prior to that NCAA tournament, still was the most watched NCAA Finals game in NCAA history. How much did you know about Larry Bird prior to that game?
Well, Shannon, the summer before, they had the WIT tournament.
Okay.
And they brought all the best college players
Magic Johnson
to play against the world.
Okay.
And man, I see this guy, you know, blonde hair, you know. I said, all right, let me see if he can play.
Okay.
Man, I'm sitting there watching him shoot, Shannon. He must have made 30 in a row all net.
I see what Steph Curry before Steph
Yeah. And I'm sitting there saying, this dude can play.
Okay.
You know, brothers, we always say, okay, can the white dude really play?
Correct.
You know?
Yep.
So then I said, oh man, you're a bad boy. You guys in the game. Jack Gibbons was player of the year that year.
Right.
He tore him up.
Woo!
From Jack Gibbons from Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Because they won the national championship
That's
the same
right.
day.
That same time.
Yeah, okay.
Man, Larry Bird was taking it to him. I said, oh man, I'm calling back home saying, oh, he for real. He for real. Larry Bird?
Right.
Oh, he got it. He
Right.
played. He's dominating Jack Gibbons.
Courage, I don't know. I think he might average 30.
Woo!
Here's the thing. Nobody could ever rush Larry Bird. I know guys are way more athletic now, but his ability to shoot the ball, depending upon the team,
Jay
is
Williams.
Like, he can get anywhere he wants to be and shoot over smaller players, and he was one of the most crafty players the game has ever seen. So I think his game translates to any time period.
Larry Bird talked a lot of shit. Bird used to tell me, look here, like,
I'm gonna go shoot this motherfucking jumper in your face right there in that corner. And it's gonna be
GP.
your Christmas present. I'm gonna wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit. He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats, and we always mentioning him. He was the shit. The shit, man. He'll give it to you any way he wanted to.
Facts.
Any way he wanted to. Larry Bird was cold. Cold dude, man. Real cold.
Every night, show what you got.
I don't know if I could ever tell you a memory. I'll just tell you that Larry was a phenomenal basketball player. The guy had unbelievable physical and mental toughness, which set him apart. I mean, that guy just would play through pain.
Tough dude. Mikhail, very underrated as a power forward. Very underrated. Woo! That was against Indiana.
Unbelievable competitor. Great hands, great vision, great feel for the game. And just, could go out every single night and just play at an unbelievably high level. Didn't have to shoot the ball really well.
Ooh, what a pass.
Had a good game because he did so many different things.
I said, the dude just knew how to play, right? And the thing that I loved about him is that he was a shit talker. And I wish you got a chance to play against Robert.
Ooh.
You would love playing against him because the dude would just tell you where he's going, shoot it in your face, talk shit to you, and run back down the floor.
Yeah.
And he was just one of those guys that,
What a pass.
he just had it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
had it, and I saw it in college, and obviously saw it a whole lot closer when we get a chance to play against the Celtics. He was the biggest trash talker back in the day, but he would back it up.
The first guy there, and he was the last guy to leave. He wore that body out with the jumpers and the running and the movement and the concentration, and the focus and the discipline and the sacrifice. He had it all. He wanted the light on him. He wanted the focus, and he wanted that ball. And if it ever got to the point where Casey Jones, a coach who we just loved and would do anything for, if Casey would ever call somebody else's play, Larry would just say, no, I'm shooting this ball. He would.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a three.
Now, growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, a lot of my friends was like that, So, I got to the league, I called all my friends back up. I said, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. He can, whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
So your guys are saying, how can you let this guy?
He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
I have to give the edge to Bird. I mean, he can get his own shot off. He can get his teammates. Basically, what Magic did, he was able to do, plus be an offensive threat all the way out to the three-point line. That's an incredible asset. They were pretty much the same size. Yeah. They were both slow. They were both, they were not both leapers. Yeah. But Bird, that outside three, and they were both high IQ guys, but I got to give the edge to Bird.
To play against.
Yes.
This was the legendary game where the college guys came in.
I heard this story.
Let y'all tear their ass up, and as soon as y'all started getting back, he ended it, right?
So funny. So when we got an invitation, it was 8
This is a dreaming team practice.
Myself, Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, Chris Webber, Rodney Rogers, Eric Montrose.
Grant Hill.
Shout out Rodney Rogers, man. Shout out to OG.
I think Penny was on that too.
And Grant Hill was on that squad. So we get to La Jolla, San Diego, and we check into the Marriott. We go up to our floor, and we're walking in the corridor, and we see this tall white guy coming down the hall. And I'm like, damn, that looked like Larry Bird. So Larry Bird coming down the hallway, and me and Chris Webber, and Larry Bird, you don't realize how big Larry Bird is until you stare at the ball. Larry Bird.
Exactly. That's a man.
Larry Bird, legit 6'10".
Nah, real talk. When I first stepped against him when he was coaching the face, I was like, damn.
So he walked by us and he says, y'all those college guys? And we was like, yeah, we the college guys. And he looked at us and he said, get some fucking rest. Walked off.
Typical Larry Bird.
Trying to got us into.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, you know, like, all right, what's going on here?
I wanted to say what's up, and he just said me like this, like that.
Larry broke into the league, rookie of the year. Had a strong first year.
The Chief.
So I knew that I was teaming up with someone that was franchise changing type talent. You know, this guy, I think he was born to play basketball. Seeing him come in and making the adjustment early, taking a team that had won 20 games the year before, and you know, the next year, I mean, you know, they're 40 plus, and the next year they're 60 plus.
When Bird was at Indiana State, and the first time we really got a chance to see him play on television, Indiana State played Bradley, and then you know, fast forward, then they played DePaul, and Mark Aguirre, Terry Cummins, Teddy Gloves on that team, and Larry Bird just, you know, he does this thing, and then of course they went on and they played Magic at Michigan State. But Bird was one of the greatest shooters, champions, competitors to ever play in our game.
You now join Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain as the only players in the 40-year history of the NBA to win the league's MVP award 3 years in a row.
Yeah, Rob, I wish you would have played against him, man. Larry Bird was the biggest shit talker in the league back in the day. He would tell you exactly where he was going, what he was going to do. And he did that to us in the finals. He was like, guys, don't worry about it. I'm going to go right over there. I'm going to catch the ball, I'm going to shoot it, and ain't shit y'all can do about it. And he did exactly that. You know, so I wish you would have got a chance to play against him.
You know, because I always think about that moment. I don't know how true this is, but you remember the time when he was playing Atlanta, and he told the guy, he says, I'm a bank of 300 on you, and the guy's just bullshit. So
on the out of bound play.
Throughout the game, throughout the game, he never got said, you know what? He goes back in the game. I think he had like 50 points that game or something.
I noticed it because Kevin McHale ended up having the most points ever scored by a Boston Celtics, right? And Larry told him he should have got 60. He broke it against Atlanta like 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah, and it was in the bench. Atlanta bench got in trouble because they out here rooting for.
You can see it. You can see the bench every shot he made. They're going crazy.
They're like, he gonna bank this one. It's like, see, that's what you want, because when someone's telling you what they can do and you can't stop it, you know they're a bad man. Yeah. But I look at guys in this era now, and you say, okay. You look at Bird and says, man, I could have stopped him because, you know, he's slow. It's sort of like Luka now. Luka, you watch Luka. Luka is so freaking slow, and you're like, why can't they stop that?
Right.
I'm like,
skill.
You crafty, you know how to play. That's all you. That's all you need.
Yeah, I think Bird is fast compared to Luka. I see Luka, he be going slow as hell, and he'll get by you. But Larry probably looked like fucking sprinter compared to the way Luka played.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think it was 86, 87. So we were playing Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So they gave me the task of guarding Larry Bird. Guarding Larry Bird. I'm like this 25-year-old rookie in the league. They said, Dennis, you have to guard him. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Guard him. So that was my whole job, to guard the toughest guy on the team, on the other teams. So, so I'm guarding him. And every time I turn my head, he's over there at the 3-point line. He said, I'm over here, Rook. I'm like, I gotta go out there and run out there like a dumbass. Just go there trying to contest him. If he hit the 3, I'm like, okay,
Remember the Portland game? I think it was Super Bowl Sunday. We were playing the Portland Trailblazers. He had like 52 points, something like that. We were down 3. He's a remarkable, crazy 3-point shot. He was leaning. And I was like, there's no way he's going to hit the shot.
DJ again to make the inbound pass. The double team and Bird. Larry, fake. Fall away.
All right. He's leaning, falling, gets 3-point. I'm like, this guy's amazing.
One thing I do remember now, this is practice, is I'm making a backdoor cut, and Larry actually spun the ball. Like, I had never dreamed of spinning the ball. He back spun the ball, bounced out in front of me. I about pulled a hamstring because I thought the damn ball was going out of bounds. It popped back up and it hit me in my hands. He just said, you get open, I'll hit you. And I went like, ooh, okay then. And that I do remember, because I remember thinking, I'm going to try that spin pass. I tried it once and said, I'm not doing that ever again. Like, I threw it out of bounds.
Off of the ball. Back to Larry Bird.
Oh, nice.
In the league at that time, do you
have a feel for who players felt was the better player between those two?
To be honest with you, the black players gravitated to Magic and the white players gravitated to Bird. You know? And the people with sense could see. You know, and it wasn't about color or anything else. It was, hey, this guy hit the ball. And that's why we used to always look at Bird like, maybe he's not white. In a little bit of a way, because he's got a lot of swag. Before the word was really hot.
Played in the Garden. I got checked in the game, and Larry Bird was just standing there, and I walked right up to him, was like, "How you doing, Mr. Bird?" I'm you know, and then he just had his hands on his hip, and he doesn't even look at me the whole time. He looks at Paul Westphal because they were teammates together, and he goes, "Paul, I know y'all ain't got this fucking rookie guy. You gotta be fucking." And I got my hand out. My hand is still out, so I'm just like, oh well. I'm guard 33 because I think I'm a guard. So, like, for him to talk trash and never even eye contact, I was like, ooh, this dude is dangerous. Magic was cool. When I met him, I got on the court in the form and went right up to him, forget about the game. "Hi, Magic, how you doing?" "Say, what's up, baby? LA, you home?"
Yeah. So the next morning, we get up and we go to...
Come on, Masburn was a beast.
And Roy Williams is our coach, but we only got 8. So we like, well, how are we practicing and what are we practicing for? So we spent, I want to say, an hour doing the 3-man weave. And I'm like, what's going on here? Then they bus us to another location where the dream team is practicing. And these about 400 people standing outside waiting for the dream team to come out. They take us up to a top floor, and the dream team is practicing. They're finishing up their practice. And then they say, all right, get loose and stretch out. We're like, okay, we playing? They're like, yeah, we're going to play next. So we get out the gates, like the first 15 minutes, we're kicking their ass. We running all out, Bobby Hurley in the lane, killing John Stockton. So they stopped the game and turned off the score. And we were up like 72, 66 or something, 65.